Schistosomiasis, also known as bilharzia, is the second most common parasitic disease in the world after malaria. It's estimated 90% of cases occur in Africa.
Schistosomiasis is caused by a trematode worm that infects people who work or play in infested water. Worm larvae, which develop in the guts of freshwater snails, enter the body through the skin, where they grow, breed, and lay their eggs, triggering diarrhea, stomach pain, anemia, and stunted development in children. In 2011, 243 million people were treated for the disease, which kills 200,000 a year in Africa alone.
Okay, so I've been given my waders, my all-in-one suit. Sheikh, what else do I need? Chair Tiam has been researching schistosomiasis for over 20 years. It does seem a bit odd, like we're being cautious here. But in the background, of course, the villagers who have no option really in terms of using the water supply here, of course, they're completely exposed. So the contrast, it's quite stark. Chair is assessing the rate of infection in Lampsar, a village in one of the worst affected areas in Senegal, by examining the snails found in the local water supply. We have our first one, we have our first snail.
La dernière prospection ici, on a eu à peu près 45% d'infectés, ici dans le site là. Donc c'est un site vraiment infecté, quoi.
Some of those most at risk are the local school children.
Donc,
so we're measuring it.
On a mesuré 2 comprimés et demi. On peut donner 2 comprimés et demi là-bas.
The most common treatment is a drug called praziquantel, but worldwide only 10% of those that need it have access to it. But it does cure them of schistosomiasis 100%, it's 100% effective.
Efficace, c'est effectivement efficace le traitement, mais le mieux c'est de trouver, de parer à ça, quoi, de trouver une solution, vraiment, pour qu'il ne se réinfeste pas.
Goes to give a sample now, urine sample, which Sheikh will take off into the lab after this. So, next child, please. By detecting parasite eggs in urine or stool samples, Chair is comparing the rate of infection and reinfection amongst the villagers to the level of contamination of the snails in the local area.
Wow.
What can you see?
Il y a beaucoup d'œufs d'hématobiome. Oh.
You can tell already?
Regarde.
That quickly?
Oui, beaucoup d'œufs. C'est des œufs de bilharziose, des œufs d'hématobiome. Il y en a au moins une vingtaine sur un seul champ.
Oh, it's really sad. And these aren't just samples in a lab. You know, we took them from the children earlier, we met them, and to think, you know, you can place a face with that child that's infected.
On a déjà traité ces enfants-là, heureusement. Mais il y en a d'autres qui sont près dans le village et qui sont beaucoup plus de charges ou les mêmes charges. Ce sont ces enfants-là qui risquent quand même de courir de graves conséquences, quoi. Donc il faut faire quelque chose au plus vite possible.
And this involves going back a step by tackling the snails that carry the parasite in its larval stage.
Il y en a un ici, voilà, tu regardes.
You think you found it?
Positif, oui.
Oh God, yeah.
Il est comme ça.
So this is human schisto.
Oui.
So that means in the site that we were collecting from, the larvae does actually carry the schisto. And so what is the answer?
Ouais, en tout cas, le traitement, on peut dire que le traitement est efficace pour, c'est comme dit un médicament curatif. Quand tu traites, tu débarrasses l'individu de la bilharziose. Mais ça ne l'immunise pas. Il retourne dans le fleuve, il rattrape la bilharziose. Donc, c'est pas comment dirais-je, une solution définitive des personnes où il y a d'autres formes de lutte.
The solution used to be this guy. The African freshwater prawn is the snail's main predator. And without snails to act as intermediary hosts, the parasite can't complete its life cycle. But today the prawns are almost extinct in the Senegal River because of this. The Diama Dam was built in the 1980s to prevent salt water from flowing into agricultural lands. It blocked the prawns' upriver migration, disrupting their life cycle across a huge catchment area. While the snail's major predator was disappearing and the river's salinity and habitat were changing, a massive outbreak of intestinal schistosomiasis occurred in the villages upriver from the dam. In fact, it was the fastest outbreak of any disease in recorded history. Nicolas Journard works for Projet Crevette, which is trying to reintroduce the prawns to the Senegal River basin.
I'm gonna introduce you to Badge.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Amandine.
Amandine, c'est Badge.
Ça va?
Yeah. Tu vas aller pêcher maintenant? Oui. Est-ce qu'on peut aller avec toi?
To restore the prawn population, Nicolas needs breeding stock, and that's where local fishermen like Badge come in. So Badge, how long have you been a fisherman?
Depuis 94. Avant le barrage, il y avait beaucoup de poissons, il y avait beaucoup de crevettes, mais maintenant, il n'y en a plus beaucoup.
When Badge's father was fishing, before the dam was built, he used to catch hundreds of prawns every day. Today's haul is one fish and one prawn. So if Project Crevette reintroduces prawns, a large number of prawns, what change will that mean for you?
Ça serait beaucoup plus bon pour nous. En général, tout le monde va travailler. Tous les pêcheurs vont travailler.
Is there a clash between the fishermen like Badge fishing for the prawns, but Project Crevette doing so much hard work to try to reintroduce the prawns here to fight schistosomiasis?
Actually, no, because we are using the small prawn that eat the snails in order to grow. And Badge and other fishermen are interested by fishing big prawns.
But the prawns don't spread the schisto? If I eat the prawns, because I like prawns,
Yeah.
I don't catch schisto.
Not at all, there is no risk. Even if you eat the snails, you will not catch the disease. You can catch it only in the water and it will go in your body through the skin.
Projet Crevette plan to eventually breed the prawns in sufficient numbers to restock the river. But until then, they must fly them in from Cameroon, over 3,000 kilometres away. It's well before sunrise. I'm not usually a morning person, but this is no ordinary morning with the welcoming committee for the prawns. Bonjour. Bye. Bonjour. Hello, Samaya. My name is Amandeep. Tell me what you need a hand with. Okay. Before release, all 300 new arrivals need to be sexed, measured, weighed, and separated into groups, because the project is working on which combination of prawns is best at controlling the snail population.
Carapace, propolis, length, and propolis weight. Okay.
Oh, wow. Jumping around.
Yeah.
32.
Carapace 32.
I'm going to go with male because it's closed.
No, it is large. Look.
Oh, God, I'm not going to get this right, am I? It's a good thing there's two of us. Females with eggs are not released, but taken to Projet Crevette's hatchery to build a homegrown crop. So the ratio is 3 females to 1 male.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of jealousy there.
3 female and 1 male.
Lucky men.
Is happy.
And as you can see, it's taken a long time to do this process. It was broad daylight outside. And we've got the last one. Last one to go. Merci beaucoup.
Comme ça va?
How many boxes have we got in total?
11?
11 boxes. And now where do we go?
Now we go to Ramsa village to release the first prawns.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So how big an area is actually affected by schisto?
So the area we are talking about now, the Senegal River Basin, is approximately the size of the Italy. But more generally speaking, schisto is present all over the tropical countries, and especially in Africa, where we count 90% of the case. And so it means that the research we are doing here might be applied everywhere else in Africa and where we cross schisto problems. Yes, sir.
Right, I'm going to get busy and put my waders on while boys figure out what's happening with the boxes. Okay. This looks very different from catching a goldfish bowl, you know, a goldfish at a fun fair. The new prawns are released into enclosures where their progress, including their progress at munching through the local snail population, can be monitored. With your permission, shall we release? Okay. Here we go. Swim to freedom. Go forth, be brave. Oh, they seem very happy. I'm honoured that you let me be part of this process. Thank you so much. And within seconds, they disappear into the murky water. But you'll come back to monitor them.
Every 2 days we come back and we check the traps that are here all around the enclosure and check if they're still alive, and we also check if they are eating the snails. We are collecting the snails.
The most important job that they
Exactly.
have. And hopefully they will be hungry and they will eat
I'm
themselves.
sure they are after this long travel.